Hi guys, guyesses, fellow woodgas lovers. My electricity toaster done broke down. Yep, no longer does it turn bread into yum yum. So, I went out and I done got me a new toaster oven. Let's take a look, see, huh? Here it is, in all its rather huge and expensive glory. This fine machine will toast my bread for me and put a perfect rendition of Jesus on every slice. Just like it ought to. Not only that, but I can use it to laser cut products and make pretty much anything I want to. This in conjunction with a CNC router makes for a very powerful tool set. Today's little project is to make a stand for this here cell phone. Instead of having it stand like that, which is normal, I'm going to have it sitting like that, sort of raised above the deck and inclined backwards at about 20 odd degrees. The idea being so I can sit back and watch little movies on and things like that. So, the first order of the day, after setting this up and getting the focus correct, is to do a thing called framing. So, I'll just close the door here, keep the noise and smoke and things under control. And on the computer, mouse my way over to the frame button. This can be done with the door open, so I'll do that so I can see this. What it's doing basically is it's letting me make sure that the material is lined up with the proposed cutting area. That essentially confirms, by not overrunning the edges, that I've got enough material and I've got it placed correctly. Mighty handy little thing, don't you reckon? Might be able to see a couple of dots down there. Yeah, the camera's not doing a very good job of picking it up. But if I move out of focus, you get that effect. Kind of reminds me of dam busters, the way they lined up the height of the bomber over the water. As those dots get close together and overlap each other, it indicates that the laser is ready and focused. So the next operation is to ask the computer oh so nicely with my wireless trackball mouse, the only mouse for me, is to hit start and ask the whole machine to get going. So let's do that, huh? Ain't that amazing? If I've got that set correctly, you'll be cutting right through that material in near silence, other than all the other noises that it's making. Smoky. This blower is taking the exhaust and attempting to blow it outside. Bit of a plasticky smell and the smoke being produced. This machine is capable of engraving glass and metal, cutting plastics, wood, leather, human skin if I'm careless. So, it's definitely a formidable weapon when it comes to being able to create new things. The only limit at the moment is my imagination and my rather fledgling skill. As I've had this machine for the past couple or 3 days, and on the very first day I've never operated one of these things before. So It's a learning experience, I'll say. A fascinating one at that. I just hope my voice is coming through because it is a little bit noisy in here with everything going. The machine's finished cutting and now it's doing a little dummy operation where it's pretending to cut simply to keep the blower going for a little bit longer to evacuate the airspace in here. So I'll be done in a moment, then I can lift the lid and take a look-see. Dinner's ready. Now I can't be sure that's actually cut right through at the moment, and I had to be supremely careful when testing it. But what I'll probably do is break the video up into a couple of bits and or pieces once I'm sure that these pieces are ready to actually come out of here. Stay tuned. Okie dokie. Here's one that I prepared earlier. It's a more standard sort of design and configuration where your USB lead and so on comes in under here and plugs into the base of the phone to charge it up. What I've done is I've run the code on this a second time in order to allow the freaking laser, anyway, to complete the cut. And yeah, you can see through that now. So the laser has actually managed to cut all the way through this material, which is 3mm thick, or to use modern measurements that you young whippersnappers like to use, a little under 1/8 of an inch. So the next process really is to break those little pieces out of there. Sometimes they fall out, but it looks like my settings might not be quite right, so I'll just have to break them out and push these little plugs out of here so the pieces can be sort of clipped together, much like that is. Good fun, huh? Kit set. Furniture. Do you think IKEA? Alright, just one last look at this before I break the pieces out. You can actually see through there where the laser has completed the cuts. It's actually held in at a few tiny spots. Seems to be at the corners, so it's hanging on for dear life, which should make it easier and to break these pieces out. I'll try breaking one out in front of the camera. It's a bit awkward though, holding the camera and this at the same time. Well, it moves, but I just don't have enough control. Oh, there we go. Alright. Try to get the right light here. So that's a piece of this plastic with its paper on it, having been quite nicely excised from the stock material, ready for a little bit of fine tuning. There's a website that you can actually download these designs from, and then you can modify them to suit, which I've done here. So I downloaded the design, made some changes in order to optimize for this particular application. I'll see if I can include the link in the video during editing. Alrighty, the next little old thing will be to break these bits out and show you what they look like. Okie dokie, here it is, very roughly put together. Not until I remove the paper backing from these plastic sheets will I really be able to clip it together like that one is. But this gives you a rough idea of how quickly you can make something with a machine like this when you're not making toast. Yes, in my design it's a slight variation where I've taken some of the back panel and turned that into the little lugs that hold the phone off the deck. That way it makes slightly better use of material than the original design would permit. If we take that off there and just push this a little bit, it will fall apart rather readily. So you can see how those pieces, which were taken out of the back panel, have become the supports that basically set the working angle for this and serve as a backstop for the edge of the phone. They clip into slots on that panel via tabs on those pieces, much the same as these have tabs which fit into the slots there. Tabs there, slots here, you know what I mean. Insert tab A into slot B kind of thing. That is something I can assemble at my leisure so I can use it. Oops. To hold this little cell phone at the right position so I can watch YouTube videos on it. Maybe I could watch woodgas videos on it. Now that would be sweet. Okay, my fellow wooden watters, here's hoping you enjoyed your preview of the shiny new toaster oven. In time, this toaster oven is going to be, once I finish lining this garage, positioned over there in a cubby hole especially established for it. And in place of this will be installed a rather huge CNC router. One that can take a full-size sheet of this plywood, for example, and create all sorts of wonderful things with it using the magic of CNC routing. This machine and the new one will work together to create some pretty amazing things in reality. Around the corner here is a couple of lathes. I'm setting these up so as they'll become part of the productive environment that I'm hoping to establish in here, once again after I complete lining this out. And in the next room I'll have my design office. So little cafeteria, design office and customer meeting zone, I guess you would say, in order to establish a productive business here at my shiny new farmy shaped residence. Ciao for now, my fellow wooden watters.